A 20-year-old lottery winner rejects $1 million in favor of $1,000 weekly payments for life. This post has generated a lot of reactions on the social media spaces. So tweet by the name Ian Ogindi at Barongo 230 tagged me on this post. Akasema, Dr. Kingori, nangoja submission yenu. And I believe that's a submission between Mimi na Senior Counsel Otieno Mokaya ni fire been fire. But before we get to the details of this story, what we think, first of all, let me bring your attention to another tweet by Jake, the optionist. And Akasema, this salary is the one that will cause people to call us fake friends in January. Senior Counsel.
Iko namna gani?
Niko poa sana.
Yes.
Chini ya mti vibes. Tunaanza na it's December mood.
Yes.
Christmas season imeanza. Jam kila mahali depending on where you are. Tuko karibu na wild beast migration.
Okay.
But something interesting about money in this season.
Yeah.
Tuko na 3 money ideas on this one. Kuna hiyo ya the lottery, kuna hii mambo ya the December money, and then I would like us to give you have a very interesting submission on the employment market.
Yes.
Right? And here as a guide people as we move into the near 2026. First of all, happy holidays to everyone watching this. Wherever imekupata. This salary is the one that will cause people to call us fake friends in January. What do you think?
December has 2 paydays. The 31st of November, yeah, and the 15th to 20th of December.
Within 2 weeks.
Within this 2 weeks.
So
yes, so huyu jamaa anasema hii salary ndio itatuta fake friends is because you'll burn whatever you could have spent your pocket money from your employer for January in December. So you'll have 1 month which you'll have no salary. So then everybody will have no money and nobody will cover the other.
And you know, this fanfare yote, all this fanfare, ni for 1 week.
For 1 week, from 25th to 1st.
It's technically one week.
And we prepare for it for the whole year.
And then we have a January, like a typical season here, January, 3 months long.
So what we need is to just interpret the 2 salaries for what they are. Whatever we got, what the payday we had on 31st was to be spent in December. If we just spend it in December, it means the payday we have today, because this is the last Friday, anyone with a job is being paid. Kama unaenda job next week, utafute kazi. It's supposed to be spent in January. Okay, there are essential services which must appear. Our security officers must be at work. The guys who deal in hospitals, our sicknesses will not wait for Christmas to go. So I understand you people are important to us, and that was a joke. Yes. So whatever we receive today, for those who are being paid today, is supposed to be spent in January. A wise person will pay school fees, pay your rent, fill your fridge if you have one, and make sure you can be have your fuel somewhere, so that usianze kuita watu fake friends. Or at least you can be the true friend who will have a balance in January.
And what's going on there, so if someone does not bail you out financially, and we've said before, everyone gets stuck and everyone needs a circle to like bail you out, like marafiki. Money is a tool, it's a social tool. There's a name niliona nayo jana on some economics like video. They called money as nitakumbuka hiyo jina. So what is this about being a fake friend because haujaweza kupatia mtu pesa?
You realize whoever that is calling you a fake friend doesn't have what is asking from you. The same people who call other people stingy, it's because they can't get what they don't have from other people. So if you can't be a fake friend because you can't pour from an empty cup.
Now in the context where kwa wale watu sema when they had they gave out, but when they needed they didn't get.
Friendship is a trade of toys. I give in expectation that when I won't, I'll get. But it's not a hostage situation that I give you and I have a gun on your head to give me whenever I have. What if I don't have? I think there is much to friendship to understand that at some point my situation is like yours. So instead of calling you a fake friend, I should sympathize with you, or we should meet somewhere and laugh at each other that we are in the same situation, maze tumesota wote. You get? So you can't call somebody a fake friend just because they are in the same situation as you are. You should actually sympathize in yourself and sympathize to sympathize with them, that for once you're in the same situation. But I think January is a matter of planning. If you call January December, we'll still be broke in January because we went flat out in December as if that is it. But you see, 1st of January is just 1st of a month. So it's a matter of planning. And I think you won't have a problem being broke in January if every other obligation is fulfilled. So if you are at par with your debt obligations, if at all you will be leaving debt, if you have fuel in your car, you have your fare sorted, you have your rent sorted, school fees sorted, January shopping should be done now, books bought, yeah, and fridge full with vegetables and what you need in that house, you can be broke and still don't need money.
And that's a very interesting style. First of all, to complement what you've said, in Amanisha, January can flat outrightly be solved by planning, number one. And this idea, I believe, is borrowed from the philosophy of Marx. You would rather be broke, but all your basics are covered.
Yes.
Like when you have money, I'm in a WhatsApp group where parents have already started paying for school fees now.
Brilliant.
School fees in January.
Nifanye admin wa hiyo WhatsApp group.
But most people wait until January, you start running around. Yeah, your pressure. But they can't think of it. As you've said, if you cover your fuel costs in January, you'll not feel the shake-up.
You'll go to work every day. You'll go to every meeting every day.
Yes.
You'll have breakfast, lunch, and supper every day. And I think we have also discussed that. You realize all our habits are imposed. Yeah.
Yes.
You can survive on 2 meals a day if at all you don't have money to buy lunch. You can't die.
Yes.
So it means if you are broke but you have all your needs catered for, you have your fuel, which means you can go anywhere.
Yes.
Your rent is paid, your school fees is paid. If for those who believe in wife allowance, you have already sorted that so that mboga, chumvi, everything is sorted. Really, you can stay a month without money because money is there to solve your urgent current needs. So if you have sorted your urgent current needs in December, in foresight, really you don't need money.
What is wife allowance?
Wife allowance, you want us to go into that hole?
Please, before we proceed to the next item.
This is a tradition I borrowed from my father. My late father was really annoyed with immediate urgent requests for money. He'll tell you, I have money, what do you need? If you don't say when he has been paid, you appear on 15th with an urgent need for money, he'll be very annoyed. So what he used to do is plan his math, pay for everything, yeah, and then we'll ask Made, what do we need for this month? Made will tell Mzai, I need this. Get that money, give it to her. So Mzai will be operating as if he'll come home knowing supper is sorted, everything is sorted, haombwi pesa. So I carried that habit with me. And I think some of my friends do the same. You'll know how much expenditure is needed for everything during the month. And then you're free.
So wife allowance is not separate from expenditure of the house.
No, it's compound.
It's not like after the expenses of the house, here's something aside for the wife.
There could be, but it includes that. So if let's say we have talked about 20k, watu wakasema hiyo ni 20k unasema hivyo. Let's use 20k as an example. If somehow the boss of the house says our runarounds for the month is 20,000, if you do 30 as your budget for wife allowance, and these are conservative figures, it could be too small for others, it could be too much for others, then it means there are no calls at 1 a.m. at Igasi Meisha.
Okay, very wonderful submission. Now to Ian Ongidi ametutag this post that has been doing rounds. Before we talk about Senior Counsel Otieno Mokaya's beautiful submission about the employment market, tuko na a post that has been doing rounds for a while. 20-year-old lottery winner rejects $1 million in favor of $1,000 weekly payments for the rest of her life. So people have expressed mixed reactions, and the title of that caption actually inasema dumb or smart. Some people wanasema huu ni mjinga sana, very foolish. Why would you reject $1 million in cash in favor of $1,000 weekly for the rest of your life? And I was like, let's bring that under the tree. Most people misunderstand lump sums. First of all, do you think that's a dumb or a smart move?
My ancestors say, because Barongo is the one who has said that, Barongo means twin in French. My ancestors say, na nyoro yondega koyalia.
What means is, I was chewing words. When I left, I found somebody chewing words directly represented. It means everybody has an opinion on everything. And also everybody has a complaint on really everything.
Legit.
So that could be dumb, depending on where you're looking at it from. That could be wisdom, depending on where you're looking at it from. If this lady was 40 or 35 and he does the same thing, it could be dumb. She's 20. She's done that. I think that will be the best decision she'll ever make.
I think some people assume $1,000 weekly ni kidogo. So I've done the math. Yeah, let's say money market funds zimekuwa touted a lot. Like, invest in money market funds is the new thing, new vehicle to, some people call it a store of value, right? I believe it's a good vehicle compared to a bank account where your money just sits. So if it's a good platform to load up towards the project, right? So I did the math with conservative figures, za kama 10% here. 10% return on investment brings it to around 13 million divided by 52 weeks. That means if we Kenyanize it, that's 250,000 shillings per week each, which means these are 1,000,000 shillings per month. Okay, so for context,
that's a PCO kind of service.
Exactly. So for her, she technically has she has created a job for herself where she earns, if it was in Kenya, 1,000,000 shillings every month.
Yes, she has elected herself member of parliament without the corruption part.
For the rest of her life. Yes. With 1,000,000 shillings per month, yes. Assuming this is net pay, you can live anywhere. You can live very comfortably, right? Yeah. And it is a less risky path in terms of living off returns.
Yes.
Of an investment kama money market fund. Nation Sacco has consistently been giving 11% on deposits.
Yeah.
Share
deposit or shares.
Or not shares. Kuna share capital na share deposits. So share deposits imekuwa 11%, hiyo share capital has been 20%. But the maximum is 1,000,000 Kenya shillings. Hii ni $1,000,000. So 11% is fair. Britam money market fund is giving 10%, around 10%, right? So that's probably 1,000,000 shillings per month, because $1,000,000 going by the figures za conversion say ni around 130 million Kenya shillings. So with playing with a figure, with her capital being safe, she could actually use this to borrow if she knows how to leverage on if someone knows how to leverage on the debt market. Yeah. So anazaenda, she could invest in real estate, probably target a monthly payment ya 500,000 and live off 500,000, and this is an asset that will keep on growing. All these are strategies, okay? But the one ya kusema, I would take $1,000 weekly, that's a safer
option. Yeah. So let's look at that scenario. It specifically to who we are talking about. And we have had, we thank God that our audience is very, very keen on small details. So whenever we're talking about numbers, we are conservative. Kingori calls it kienyeji mathematics. So we are more on the idea than the numbers. Utunulie calculator next time. So this is a 20-year-old. She was actually a teenager yesterday. So there are things she's yet to do. There are lessons she's yet to learn. There are mistakes she's yet to commit. So she has chosen to make every other mistake, but not the mistake with the one chance she had of a lifetime. One windfall which might not come, or which definitely will not.
It's not easily replicable.
It's not a product of expertise. It's not a product of competence. It's not a product of market. She has not done anything to deserve that money. She can throw a die. Yeah, she won't get a 6 in any time soon. So she has chosen to make sure her 6 does not does not disappear.
Yes.
There is data to show that a big percentage of lottery winners go broke by the 5th year.
Over 90%.
Oh, yes, over 90% of lottery winners. So she doesn't want to be part of that statistics. So that's why it's wise that a 20-year-old has chosen to embrace her foolishness and act like the fool that she is. So Warren Buffett's partner says it takes risk to get high, but it doesn't take risk to stay there. So if you have been risking and losing and then you win once, then wisdom dictates that now it's not the time to be wise. It's the time to avoid foolishness. because now you are $1 million, you're a dollar millionaire. So one bad bet will get you to brokenness. But careful, consistent small bets will retain you at $1 million.
Yes.
So she doesn't need 50% return on investment. She needs even 5% return on investment, and she'll never be broke the whole of her life. So then, this plan of creating her own employment which gives her a right to $1,000 every week without responsibility to show up every day, is the best thing for a 20-year-old to do, at least for the next 5 or 10 years, so that she gets to understand how money works. She gets to learn the economies of the leagues she has gotten into. And then now by 30 or 27, she can be able to make those small calculated risks, which attract a loss of, let's say, 1% with a promise of 5%, than something that promises 50%,
yes,
with a potential loss of 100%. So if she was 45 or 40, you'll say maybe that was dumb because she could do other things with the knowledge and experience she has, because that time maybe she has earned a skill. She's become maybe an IT specialist. Then she can invest in data centers, which is a new thing. Maybe she's become a financial analyst. She can now know how to purchase shares and edge on whichever shares is going up or not. Or she's become a lawyer. Then she can start a law firm, which sells her sweat and not the money that she has made. But give or take, you have $1 million where you are tapping 100,000 or 130,000 every week, which is close to 500,000 every month. Yeah,
it's more than a million
in Kenya. She is in more than $1 million in Kenyan shillings, and you have not lifted a finger, which means also she can live her life and create more value while expecting that as a baseline. I think she's set for a very bright future if she doesn't get herself into expensive problems.
And most people criticizing her decision, first of all, this story may be hypothetical, but it's a reflection of real life decisions, based on even how people are reacting to it. So one, you find that most people criticizing the decision to receive $1,000 weekly are people who are in the same system, because when in your submission of what a salary does, most people would rather take 35,000 shillings per month as a salary than get, in fact, most people are in a situation where they get money in dosage, in small doses, and as they wait for a lump sum in the name of a retirement benefits. Right?
So actually, do you realize the government's money cycle is once a year, but government pays salaries every month? Where do you think the money comes from? It's the same formula. So your Ministry of Health receives a budget allocation in June 2024. They say a third of this will go to salaries, and put that money in an account that has standing orders to all the Ministry of Health employees.
They put that money, or they bet on how people will spend?
No. Let's say Kisii County receives 15 billion every year.
Yes.
This is pure Kenyaji mathematics. And then they allocate this amount to salaries. So that money will go into a salary account. So Kisii County has an option to pay the chief executive officer salary yake ya mwaka mzima. But the chief executive officer hataki hivyo. Anataka umkatie slice yake kila mwezi. Ndio yake mbaya. You get. So the lady has chosen permanent and pensionable. In real terms, like she's chosen to have whatever the county has for you, whatever government has for you.
Yes.
So that aichukue kila mwezi. So what she has chosen is what we call employment.
Which begs the question, how many people, especially for people who've reacted to this story, how many people, your salary, multiply it by 12 months and 10 years.
Yes.
If you are to get an offer from your employer to ukiingia job hivi, they give you all your salary for 10 years, wewe uko unakuja tu kazi.
Most of us will buy iPhone 17 Pro Max, Prado, clothes we don't need, and salamanders, and then we behave as if we have never been paid. Boss, we can't manage what we are paid for 30 days up to 15. By date 15, most of us are broke. Can we manage a career worth of our money? So we need somebody or a system to manage it for us, then give us dosages of what we can manage. And again, even the dosages we are given for 30 days, we can't survive on it for 30 days, because by 15th tumeanza kudownload ma apps zingine. Yeah. So she chose to rise above the habits we can't. Yeah, and that is what discipline does to you.
Yeah.
Because what we said is, most of the companies we work for have our salary for 4 or 5 years, unless it's a startup. Most companies with good structure are startups, yes. Most companies that people work for, when they get a windfall, especially companies which are not FMCGs. FMCGs are easy because fast commodity moving products. It's because they sell chumvi every day, so they know there is money coming, so they can. At 24, your employer might not have the money, but he can sell and pay you by 28. But companies that do consultancies, law firms, and companies or businesses that who are not cash businesses, when they get up one business, let's say you work for a construction company, they get a tender worth 10 million. A good corporate practice dictates that they do a salary account, which covers the company, salary and office account, which covers the company for the foreseeable future until they can speculate on the other business. So your employer somewhere amesema, Kingori is 100,000 tunailipa for the next 5 years na hii deal moja. You get? They do that account and do a standing order to your account. That's why most of our salaries come on the same day at the same hour. You should realize if you're paid on 28th by 4 p.m., pesa isha hit to account yako because the standing order. They just need to confirm you're still an employee and the transaction goes. So that's why most of us can't thrive in business, because business takes that kind of tenacity to pay yourself fast and pay everybody consistently with the money that you'll get. So the business can be running on 0 transactions, but salaries are paid and office rent is paid.
100%.
So that's what she chose.
Solid. So now to our third or fourth idea in this submission, employment. You have a very interesting idea on, and I love it. Yeah, the employment system. One, let me bring it back kidogo. There was a time people were complaining that comedians are taking over jobs. In fact, there was a time I had a stint at Nation FM, and people were like, oh, how can one person have more than one job? Because I was on TV, I was on radio, na nilikuwa nafanya a few things. So what wanasema, tunamalizia watu kazi. Like we are taking over jobs from other deserving people. Because people feel like, as a comedian, if I branch to radio, there is someone who has done mass communication who deserves that job better, right? One, our system, and we've covered this with Larry Mado's aunt. It's on our episode. The title is very simple. This will change your view on employment. And true to that, if you watch that episode, you'll see that. So we have, and the submission, part of the submission on that was, they used to headhunt people for jobs here back in the day. And I believe former Nation Media Group CEO Stephen Getagama also, we discussed that too with him, where people used to be headhunted and booked for jobs. In fact, you have multiple offer letters before you get a job.
You choose,
yes,
who's your slave master.
Yes. So now we have not evolved to grow those opportunities, right? We have not grown those opportunities, but we are supplying the job market with more people.
Yes.
So on that front, the people responsible for economic ideas and policies that would expand the market have failed the country, and graduates are getting a road deal on that front. And in that same concept, in Amanisha, there's a lot that speaks to the mentality ya hawa wanatumalizia kazi. But I have seen firsthand producer wetu wa hizi submissions, Gen Z,
Mzee Reagan
mwenyewe, Zinedine Bigan.
I'm still working to convince him that I'm an advocate or a Supreme Court.
Mzee Reagan is a self-taught producer wa content.
Is one man show house.
Yes. Na yeye ni mtu Mourinho tu anafaa muone akicheza, ampeleke
Garatasa
aende acheze Premier League. But job yake you cannot compare with someone who, and I bet that hawezi compare na someone who has gone to school afanye editing, camera na production ama photography. Yake ni combined na amejifunza. There's a difference between that
and somebody has gone to school.
Exactly. Yeah. Please take us through your submissions.
So I wish to confirm that this show, both on YouTube and on social media, is produced by a 20-year-old who has not gone anywhere to learn production.
So the submissions,
yeah,
the podcast is produced by Mzee Wiki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to Mzee Wiki. So we have to credit people who give us the information we give, because that is called intellectual honesty. Because when you use somebody's ideas without crediting them, that's now intellectual dishonesty. Is the lowest form of intellectual dishonesty. So
Highest form of
the
intellectual.
lowest form.
Lowest
You
form.
can't go lower than that. But in stealing people's ideas.
It's the highest form of dishonesty.
Yes, but the lowest form of intellectual theft, intellectual dishonesty. So growing up, by grace of God, we did well in our high school, and then people had ideas on what talented kids should be. People thought you could be a doctor, others thought you could be this and this. But if you asked me, I could have told you I wanted to do TV production, because something lied to me or told me that the best career I can have is speak to people. Then I had three people who constituted the guiding and counseling department of St. Kizito Nyansiongo Boys.
Yes.
That is Mr. Omondi Edward, Ongisa Fred, and Gishohi Robert. So we had that sitting with my parents to just decide and try and understand what kind of career is good for you. And that tradition, I think, was a good one. Then asked the question on what I want to do. I told them what I want to do. They agreed with me in that front, that I was that kind of person. I still think I am, but they also realized you don't have to go learn what you already have. So they told me, you can go learn something that complements your personality, but not exactly what you're already talented in. So that if you have it to be somebody in the media, you'll get there. But you don't have to go to school to do it, because comedians are doing it without having to go to school. And that's how I landed in law school, because then you can't be born a lawyer. You have to be certified and regulated as a lawyer. But as a media personality, you just need to be good in conversations and just do it. Somehow you can't, huwezi fugia talent, italipuka tu. Yeah. So the idea that comedians are taking people's jobs, you realize, what are you going to learn in media school if at all you can't engage people in a conversation? That's why talk shows are dominated by people who have the X factor to do that, than people who have gone to school to do it. With tremendous respect to people's qualifications, the market has its way of seeing what is good for the market.
And where is the place for programming? I'm a natural talent.
Yeah.
I subscribe to the idea that your fingers are not equal, but they all serve a decent purpose, and you need all of them to form a fist, right? I like that concept.
Yes.
And then you said, in terms of how the education system was programmed, we got to a place where we started obsessing over producing more managers.
Yeah. So the Mzungu curriculum, or the Mzungu education system, and I believe Ominde's task force borrowed a lot from that. That's what the 844 was, the initial one. I don't know what it was called. So they had a structure of what the market needed at the level that Mzungu was living, and I think that's the same level we are in. Kenya are developed. So what we need is more building and less operations. So we need more plumbers, we need more electricians, we need more masons. So the structure was formed in the way of a sieve, that the DCs will go into workmanship, yeah, where you are told to do this and you do it. The B's and the C pluses and up to B plus, or up to flat B, these are the people who are now the fund is the foremen, the people who can give direction but cannot manage as much, yeah, unless the talent is there. Then now the few B pluses to A were now the managers, the finger pointers, people who can read maps and direct everybody else on how to do everything else. So the same model is maintained in our disciplined forces, the Kenya Defense Forces. They'll go to the field and get 20 askaris, the 20 servicemen. And then they go to, when they're hiring cadets, they hire one cadet who will be captaining the 20 people. So then it means you don't have more finger pointers than doers. You have more doers, and the captain is to gel these people into a team that can do what? Can take direction and get a result. So now, come 1990s, our education system was tinkered with, where everybody thought it was cool to have a degree. It is still cool to have a degree, but there's nothing cool in having 20 supervisors who can't lift a brick. So then our market became skewed that we have many managers without doers. So we killed our polytechnics and our technical institutions and had the universities in every village. But what are these universities doing? Teaching so much theory that the person who's telling you how a house should be built cannot actually carry a brick and build it. So we are missing the technical people who know actually, if I'm told to build this house, the doctor general will tell you where to make the opening, then takes the clinical officer and the nurse to actually do the opening. I'm not saying doctors cannot, but their level of training is geared towards supervision and management and not the doing. So then how you find a degree holder doing jobs that is not trained to do, because what a degree does, it furishes you kichwa, tells you you're going to be a manager, you're going to do this kind of job, carrying of bricks and laying of bricks and doing this hardcore wiring is not your thing. You'll know how the borehole should be dug, but it's not for you to do what? To do. So utapata mtu anakuambia, mazee mimi niko mjengo, but najua mimi ni mtu nimefanya engineering. But you don't know actually engineering is part of what you are doing, only that you are trained and told you are better than that. Then we have so many people who are trained to be managers, but very few people who can do the thing. That's why people who have gone to polytechnic and mid-level colleges, most of them have jobs because they solve direct problems and they're into the doing. So the person who has been trained to be a plumber does not need to go far. Kama ameenda Kabete Polytechnic, he just needs to open a plumbing shop outside Kabete Polytechnic and a toilet will block randomly and he makes his 2,000. So then you wonder why a graduate will be paid, let's say 30, 40, 50,000 and a plumber is paid 2,000 a day. Because the market right now is facing problem solvers. Can you unblock my toilet today? Can you wire my house today? Bulb imeungua. Can you tell me what it does? My phone screen is cracked. I don't need you to tell me how a phone works. I need to give you a phone with a cracked screen. Give me a phone that works. Yeah. So the unemployment we have is structural because we have too much skill that the market does not demand of.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that also speaks to stigmatization of skilling, yet our economy could really benefit from skilling.
Yeah.
People feel like, and money is in those places that people look down upon because you feel you belong to a different class. You are not made for.
Sifanye hiyo job.
And the clever people are making money from there.
Yeah. And it's actually difficult to come down from the high horse downwards. It's easy to climb up. A mechanic with management skills is able to employ other mechanics to a level that he doesn't have to repair a car.
Very nice.
But somebody who knows mechanical engineering who has never touched a car, bringing him down to understand how things are done is really difficult. So anyone who has a degree and thinks that is whatever he has learned to do is not working, go to the nearest polytechnic, learn a hands-on skill. You'll have a job the same day.
That talks to our theory of unemployment, our submissions on lump sums, and being December, Christmasing and stuff. We wish you all happy holidays. But what do you think about our submissions and the ideas submitted in this video? Senior Counsel?
And in this forum, we accept we don't have the monopoly of wisdom. We only share ideas. Chances are we are wrong. The best thing you can do, give us a better option. Give us a better idea. Kill our idea by a better idea. And that way, our foolishness dies instead of us. Christmas season, Kinguri amesema wadau tu. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy with our loved ones. And kama jirani hana, please share something with them. And above all, let's cross the year alive.
We wish you all the best. Good journey masses kwa wale watu wana travel. Good vibes to everyone. Mali kila mtu anaenda. Vile Mokaya amesema, we do not have a monopoly of ideas. We also learn from better ideas. So we actually, every time we sit down to do a submission, we actually believe that these videos go out to people who subscribe to the concept of an open mind and people who identify as thinkers. See you on the next one.